Hello, everybody. We're so happy to see you. So I'm Caroline Doyle, and this is...
My name is Alpa Pandya, and it's absolutely fantastic to be here with you guys and this collaboration that we're doing together, Caroline. It's amazing.
So what are we doing today, Alpa?
We are launching Success Bootcamp 2021. This is our first collaboration together, and we're super, super excited about this, aren't we?
Yes. So we will have 5 days together. What we want to do is make sure that we can create the result that you can make it happen. We want to give you some tips. We want to give you some information that you can change the game for 2021. But first, Alpa, why you don't introduce yourself?
Yeah, so most of you who are inside of my Facebook group, you know that my background is in radio. I'm a BBC radio presenter. I have about 25 years within the radio industry presenting my own shows. I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm an author of a book as well. I'm a mind and thought transformation expert. And I'm working closely with Bob Proctor in the Proctor Gallagher Institute as a consultant as well, helping people shift what they need to shift, what we call paradigms. I'm not going to go into that, but I've spoken about it so many times before, but helping you shift and really get you to where you seriously want to get to. And really what my mission and my purpose is to help you to really live the life of luxury and comfort, and doing that in what it is that you love to do and how you can implement that.
I love it. I love it, Alpa. This is
Tell
so
us a little
great.
bit about yourself.
So I'm a French Canadian. So today, as you can see, she's from UK. I'm from Canada. And because of StreamYard, we can share both on our Facebook group. So I'm a French Canadian. I'm from Montreal. I was a lawyer. I did my MBA managing corporation. 2015, my husband told me that we have to move to Alabama in the United States. So I had to reinvent my life, reinvent my career, and I became a life insurance and then a financial advisor. And then I did the fast track program to become the first woman partner after 171 years for a Fortune 100 company for Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. So they never had a woman. So I qualified everything on less than 12 months, and I became the first woman partner. So I was managing an investment firm. And then I got partner of the year in 2019, and 2020, I got introduced to Bob Proctor. And also that changed my life. I was able to understand what I was doing before. I always had a great mindset, always had tools to succeed. But now it was just like, how do I fast forward everything that I want? And I even did my yearly income in 4 weeks as soon as I started my own company because I had the right tools. So what we want to share today and this week, it's what Alpa and I, what we are doing, why we have some good success like this, why our clients, our customers are having great success. Because it's like a cake. When you bake a cake, you need the right recipe. And that's what we want to share with you, because everybody deserves to have the success that they want. So, Alpa, why you don't start to say what will be the agenda for this week?
Yeah, I mean, a great introduction there, Caroline. Really, really love what you've just shared. So in the next 5 days, this is a 5-day live training that we're doing. So today we're going to be talking about goals. You know, why are they super, super important? And you know what? You may have heard this information before, but you will not have heard the information in the way that we're sharing it. Okay, there are 3 types of goals, and we're going to talk about the ones that you should really go for and why people don't really achieve what it is that they want to achieve because they set themselves the wrong goals. So we're going to be identifying what is the right type of goal to go for. That's today. Tomorrow we're going to go into self-image. You know, why that is super, super important. What is self-image? It really is the way that you see yourself. Okay, so how do you build a self-image in alignment to your goal, right? That is super, super important. So tomorrow is something that we're going to be talking about on self-image. Day 3 is persistence. What is persistence? Why do you need to persist in achieving your goal? Some people just give up at the first, second, third hurdle, right? But it's the persistence that is really going to get you to where you want to get to. And then Thursday, we're going to talk about decision. Decision is so, 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 so important. We're going to get you to make decisions like that. because that's what it takes. Would you not agree, Caroline? That's
I
what it takes,
agree.
right, to be successful. You don't want to procrastinate. You don't want to be taking forever to make decisions. You want to do it like that. We're going to make you a good decision maker. And Thursday is a really, really important day because we've got a super, super special guest who's actually going to be joining us all the way from Canada. He's from the Proctor Gallagher Institute, but we're going to keep that under wraps, right, for a little while. We're not going to name the person just yet. And then on Friday, day 5, which is the final day, we call it the roundtable discussion. So I'll be inviting a couple of people that I've been working with, who I've been helping, people who have achieved some huge, huge success through the strategies and the formulas that we're using. And of course, Caroline, you're going to be bringing on a couple of people that you've been working with, right?
Yes, correct. Yes. So we're having a full week because we really want to make a difference in your life. So let's talk about the structure first. It will be every day at the same time, and you have access to the replays in each Facebook. So whatever is your coach, you have access to the replays. If you invite 3 people, 3 of your friends, that they need to hear that, because maybe January and February, they didn't have the right month. We're almost at the end of the first quarter. It's time to change this. Invite 3 people, write it down below the video, write it down, the 3 names, and at the end of the week, you can earn $100. So come on, it's easy money, $100 if you invite 3 people to join this week to the Facebook group. So you have to write below the 3 names, and we will do a raffle at the end of the week. So that's the first thing. The second thing, you have homework, but simple homework. And it's a challenge. We want to make sure that you get something from this. So at the end of the week, each day you will have to post something in our Facebook group. When you post, you do homework and something simple. We will give you an assignment. Again, another way to make $100. Another way to make easy $100. Come on. Who's looking for money? We want to manifest money. This is your chance. This is easy. So 2 things. Invite 3 friends, and also just post your little homework, and you have a chance to earn some money. Fair enough?
I think that's a great deal, isn't it? It's a no-brainer, right, Caroline? $100 or £100, however you want to put it in, whichever denomination, that's what you will get if you actually do the work in your workbook, follow the instructions that we're giving you every day this week, and of course invite 3 people to this respective Facebook group. So to my Facebook group and to Caroline's Facebook group, right? Wherever you're watching this on, I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to get $100?
So are we ready to start?
We are super ready. I mean, I'm ready. I'm born ready.
I am too. So let's talk about goals. So Alpa, can you tell us why 95% of the people are failing their goals? Why people don't reach their goal? What is the cause of this failure?
Well, there's a couple of things, really. I mean, first thing is that they set themselves the wrong goals. Okay, people are not setting themselves the right goals, and they're basing their goals on their current results. Okay, on what they look at their results and they'll think, oh, okay, maybe I can achieve this, so they'll go for that. Right? They don't stretch, and that's one of the biggest reasons. They don't want to establish the right goal, and you know, the other thing is that they don't get super excited about it. So there's no motivation behind the goal, behind the activity that they're doing. So sooner or later, what happens is that goal just kind of filters out, and they're back to where they were, back to square one. I call it hamster on a wheel. Right, that's what it is. They don't have that big fantasy goal, so that is like really the base of their present results, which is why they're always thinking from where they are rather than where they want to be. Right, so that's one reason. So you've got to kind of get your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions in line with the goal that you want. So if you look at your current results, if you're happy with that, that's fantastic. But you know, I think we can all take ourselves always to another stage. Right, it doesn't matter how super successful you might be right now, but there's always something more that you want. So that's what we're going to be establishing today. So that's one of the main reasons, I think, why people don't really achieve their goals.
So if I understand very well, if you don't get excited with your goal, you will never reach your goal, right?
Yeah, and if you haven't got a clear roadmap, if you really haven't got a clear vision in your mind about what it is that you want, it's like driving out of your driveway and not really having a direction or a map as to where you're going. You're just going to end up anywhere, right? So you need to have direction, you need to have clarity. I think that's the biggest thing as well.
Yes. And also, we have to make sure that your current result is not your destination. And most people, they make their goal based on their current result, or maybe a little bit more, 10%, 20% better than, and they just think that this way they're stretching themselves, but that's not what we want. So today we'll talk about the 7 steps to establish the right goal. So there's a process behind, and we will also share the emotional process. So let's start with the first 7 steps. And also we did a workbook to help you. So I will share the screen. So you will be able to follow on the workbook. If you don't have the workbook, you have to, if with your Alpa, there's a link in the Facebook group, and on mine, you have to send me an email. So if you want to have the workbook, it's important, send us an email or post it in the Facebook that you need the email, the workbook, okay? It will help you to do this. So if you go on, so this is the agenda that we just said. And you have some quote on this, you have some great information. So on this page 5, okay, there are 7 steps to achieve your goal. So the first step, okay, after this page, you have the tools to complete the first step. You have to list everything that you want in your life, everything that you want to do, and everything that you want to become. So the want, the be, and the do, and the have. But you also have to look all the area, the relationship, the career, the family, the fun, the money, everything. So we challenge you today to make sure that you list 50 of those goals. It's like your bucket list. Are you clear on your bucket list? Because if you're not clear, you will just work and have nothing. So you want to make sure that you establish, first of all, what do you want? And it will help you to create the right goals. So this is step 1. So fill out those 50.
Yeah, and then step 2 really is, as I touched on earlier, you've got to picture it. You've got to have a vision. You have to bring those wishes and goals to the forefront. It's got to be in a picture. It's got to be a visualization. It's got to come to your mind, right? You've got to start to associate emotions with that as well. So you've got to get what we call it emotionally involved with your idea, emotionally involved with your goal, right? So you've got to make a vision board. Really helps. For those of you who don't know what a vision board is, I know in my group I've always spoken about vision boards. I'm sure you have, Caroline, as well. Vision board is super, super important. So who has got a vision board? Pop it in the comments, right? Pop it in the comments. I want to know who's created a vision board. And there's an actual technique of how you create a vision board and what goes where in which corner of your board. But just for today, just pop it in the comments. Who has a vision board? And if you haven't, you really need to get onto that right now. And the vision board will help you focus on what it is that you want. And then you can use a software. You can create your own vision board, like a cork board, or even just cut out a large piece of cardboard and start sticking images of things that you want. Okay. Also, you will see in your workbook that you can fill out a check from the universe. What page is that on, Caroline? I think
It's
is it on
page 8.
Page 8, right? And this is an easy tool to visualize, your financial goals, because what I say is you need to have a personal goal as well as I would say a financial goal. So it's important to have a financial goal, and hopefully we will talk about that a little bit today. So fill out that check. It's a check from the universe. Fill that check out for your financial goal. So that's the second step. What's step 3?
So first one, you make a list. Second, you picture it. That's the second step. Make sure it's clear in your mind, because that's the way you associate an emotion, a positive emotion. Step 3, you transfer all your wants in one sentence. And this is hard. What do you really want? This is the question. What do you really want? Now that you understand your bucket list, what do you really want? So write it down in the present tense. So it's important that your mind understand that it's already achieved, it's already there. And generally, you have to start your goal by, I'm so happy and grateful now that. By saying this, you're already starting to be in the achieve mode. So transfer in one sentence. Step 4, write it down your goal. But you have to be clear on this. So the statement that you will do has to be something that you never done before. And it's, a fantastic goal, something crazy. But then you have to be clear about this goal. How do you put it on a long-term goal and on a short-term goal? Can you break it down? Because then it's easier to achieve the short term. And then you just combine those short term to make this big goal. So step 4 is, how do you split this, the long term and the short term goal? Are you clear on this? And it's the same formula. I'm so happy and grateful now that. So I like to go with 12 weeks, because 12 weeks period in your mind, it's like, it's a quarter, 1/4. It's easy to make it happen. It's easy to say, okay, what are my milestones? Because if I miss one day, 1 week, I'm already out of my goal. So this is an important step. Step 4. If you don't know, you're not sure how to break it down, let us know in the chat, and we can take a call and just help you, because trying to figure out your goal, it looks easy, but there's some work to do around this if you want to be on the right path. Step 5, you have to set a deadline. You have to be clear about the deadline, because most people, they say, oh, I want this. But then, if you're not clear about the deadline, it's hard to go to step 6, which Alpa will share with you. So 3, you transfer in one sentence. Step 4, you write it down, long-term, short-term. And step 5, you put a deadline on your goal. Step 6, Alpa.
Step 6, I mean, this is the exciting part, where you make a plan, like you organize a list of activities, you put a deadline, how you will make it happen, right? Not so much entertaining yourself on the how, but really you've got to have a roadmap in place. You've got to have some kind of planning in place, right? Of what it is, what's your next step, what are you going to do? Otherwise, it's just going to be remaining as a wish, right? It's just going to be a dream that never really comes to reality, right? So you've got to put in some work, right? That is step 6. And then step 7, which is the most important thing, is you got to take action. You can't just sit at home expecting things to happen. Oh, I'll watch a video, or I'll do some affirmations, or no, that's all good. That's getting you in the vibration, but you have to take action. So every day, do something to move you towards your goal, because every day you take action, your goal is going to move more and more closer to you. It's the law of cause and effect, right? If you put big action out there, the results are going to be super, super big as well, right? So you've got to take action. You've got to go through this planning phase. You have to act on it as well. And it's so important. An imperfect action is better than no action, right? So you've got to take, even if you haven't got everything lined out and figured out, just take action. Take action from where you are right now with the tools that you've got right now.
And Alpa, I love what you just said. An imperfect action is better than no action. So don't overthink. You will make mistake, but at least you will be in action. You will start to be better. You will start to get experience. You will learn from this, and this is how you get to the next level.
Yeah, because every action you take has a reaction, right? So, and the reaction is going to give you the results. So you've got to take action. That is super, super, super important. So,
and with those, go ahead, Alpa, go ahead.
I was just going to say, imagine the life that you're capable of, not the one that you're just settling for. Because most people, that's another reason why they don't achieve goals. When you asked me earlier, Caroline, is that they just settle for things.
Yeah.
Don't settle. Really ask yourself, what do I really, really want? And spend some time with that question. It's such a simple question, right? But it's not easy to answer.
And you have to make sure you don't put any limitation. So when you think about really what do you want, don't think about the external world. Don't think about your spouse, your kids, your family. What about you? What do you want? What is this crazy idea? And to make sure you're on the right track, And this is how you will start to achieve something. To make sure you're on the right track, there's an emotional process behind this. So when you do a statement, if your first feeling is like, oh, this is so crazy, I'm about to jump from a cliff, you know what? You're on the right track. Because then it's not to lower your goal. Then we will work with you to say, okay, you have this goal. We have to raise your thinking, raise your emotion, and raise your action to match this goal. You don't want to just lower your goal. So when you're about to say, oh, this is so crazy, I feel that I'm about to jump from the cliff, I'm telling you, you're on the right track. But also there's another process behind this. So in your mind, let me go to this page. In your mind, so in the workbook, the first step, okay, so number 1 is here. The first step, what will happen in your mind is it will be impossible. So when you do this statement of this crazy idea, it will be impossible. And that's normal. So to move to the impossible to number 2, the possible, you have to focus on what if. What if I do this? What will happen to my family? What if I do this? What will happen to my bank account? What if I do this? What will happen to my health? What if? You start with those scenarios. However, at this step, if you focus on the how, you fail. So you have to be clear. Say, okay, what if? I love this idea. You know what? I think it's possible. So step 2, you move to the possible. Then that's where you focus on how. Now that I accept the idea, I think it's possible. How do I do this? And you start to think about the action plan. You start to list the strategies, the tactics, and also your metrics, because it's important to make sure that you can match, you can have track of what you're doing. When you start about the how, and you will not have all the answer. Okay, just start. And then that's where when you start to accept this idea, that's you go on number 3. Number 3 is probable, feasible. So when you start to see the how, even if you don't have all the answers, that's where your mind accepts the idea and say, okay, it's possible, it's probable now. That's where you focus here. You focus on the execution. Act on your goal. And that's where you will see your goal achieved. But this process doesn't have to take 5 days, 2 months. This process can be done in 5 or 10 minutes. You just have to start to think and say, okay, you know what? I accept the idea. I accepted the idea. I want to do it. And when I was talking with Procter Gallagher, when they told me that we have to do a coaching certification and how much I had to invest, because as a coach, we have to invest even more than a client. And when they told me that, I was like, okay, this is a big, big, big investment. However, what will be my return on investment? And when they told me the return on investment, I was like, okay, you know what? I can do that. I can do this big investment. I don't know how. It's crazy because it was the same day that I sold my house in Alabama to move back to Montreal. So we needed all the money because the house market here was high. But I was like, you know what? Let me figure out. Let me find where I can find the money. And I went back. It took me 24 hours and I found the money.
I think that's
savings.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important, Caroline, an important point that you've made there, that you're not going to be wishing anymore. This process really helps you to get clear that you're not wishing anymore, because you've got more control. You've got more control than a wish on this, right? And, in this workbook, there's a quote, I think it's on the second page of the workbook, where it says, it's not who you are that's holding you back. It's who you think you're not, right? And I'm sure it's there on the workbook, but it's so true, because we start making our goals from the point where who we are right now. But you've got to start really looking at where you want to go and start getting your goals from that aspect and that angle. Yeah,
And
fantastic.
you need just to support this with pictures so you can remember, because your mind will forget. Your
Yeah,
mind will forget. You will have so much noises. So that's why you need to be clear. So that's the first step. Okay. Establish your goal. What we want is post in each Facebook or the Facebook that you're part of, just a statement about what is your goal, what you would like to achieve. So that's your homework tonight. Just say homework, post, what is your goal?
pop it
Okay.
in the comments. Yeah, pop it in the Facebook group that you're in. What is your goal? Because remember, all of this is going to help you get $100. So I would do it if I were you. This is your homework that we're setting you, right? What is your goal? Write a sentence out in the respective Facebook groups, pop it in there, and we're going to go through this throughout the week.
And it will help you to make a commitment. When you have to write it down in front of people, it's like, oh, I have to commit. And we'll talk about more the commitment on Thursday. But the goal is the first step. And if we can help you, send us a message, write it down something. If you're not sure, we will be happy to join maybe on a call for 15, 20 minutes this week, just to help you to write down your goal. Take advantage of this, because this is the first step. When you bring clarity, it's easy to make it happen.
Yeah, super.
Anything else that you would like to add on this first session, Alpa?
Yeah, I mean, you guys, really think about what it is that you really, really want. As I said earlier, right? It's a simple question, but it's not an easy question to answer. So the way I do this is I get a sheet of paper and I will just write out the same question. What do I really, really want? Here it is. No lies. There it is. Because you go for bigger goals, you're going to ask that question, right? You're going to have bigger fears that are coming through, right? You're going to have a bigger resistance. So I write it out every single day. What do I really, really, really want? And you've got the same, right?
I do
And
the same thing. Yep.
yeah, and when you take time and you really start going within, the answers start coming. Yeah, right. Joanda, you're saying open my campus. Woohoo! Go girl.
I love
Joanda,
it.
you're actually taking the process that we're talking about. I'm glad to be helping you on this. And I know you've just achieved some amazing stuff, and you've only been in this for a couple of months. So way to go, woman. Way to go.
Congratulations, Joanda. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, result, when you have the right recipe, results are coming so fast. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. And I can share, if I can just share a little bit with everyone, because we have, with Bob Proctor, we have a recipe. It's like
Yes.
a cookbook, 206 pages. And at the beginning, when I started my own coaching company, I did a business plan. I'm an entrepreneur. Say, okay, year one, I will do this, year two, year three. And I was like, okay, let's shoot a little bit lower. I didn't really start the program. So I was like, oh, I just go with a goal that I think I can reach. Not a crazy goal, but even it was a little bit crazy, but I was like, okay, 2020 on business revenue, I will do X amount. 2021, I will do X amount. You know what? 4 weeks, I reached this business revenues. And in November, I started in July. In November, I was already reaching what I planned to do it at the end of 2021. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is crazy. So that's telling me that first I didn't have the right goal, because I already achieved it. But then I was like, you know what? Why I can do it? It's because I have the right recipe. So I was just like, and then I was saying this on my clients, almost all my clients, that they were able to overachieve their goal. At the end of 2020, we did a survey for all my clients, and 88% achieve or overachieve their goal. Overachieve their goal. I was like, and every week, the first week when we go to goal in the program, people are, Caroline, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Because I challenge everyone, say, no, this is not the right goal. And 88 at the end, 88% just overachieve. And I have 52% of people, and 50% of them, they were less than 3 months in the program, double their income.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised by what you're saying. I mean, I've seen exponential growth in my own personal life as well as my business life. And I'm saying that because Joanna, you've said the same thing. You said I can best describe it as exponential growth. You say, "Hey, ladies, thanks. The work is powerful and the coaching has been amazing." Right? I mean, this is real time people who are doing this, and they're seeing the results literally within a couple of months. When I first got involved in this about 6 years ago, I started achieving my goals within 6 months of me getting into the process. So you know how you've just spoken about your goal, Caroline, and what your clients have achieved. My goal was to double my income, to get into six figures, right? And literally, that's what I did. I thought, oh my God, I'm writing out this goal. And when I checked it, I thought, well, I'm writing out the same goal of the money that I've already earned through the three jobs. I've spoken about this before. I used to hold down three jobs, and that those three jobs were giving me 40,000 UK pounds a year. But then I thought, you know what? I need to double this, right? Can I do it? And there was fear, there was all that kind of stuff. But I got to six figures in 6 months. This is how powerful
Congratulations.
this information is, right?
It
You
is.
know that, I know that, but people who are doing this, that it's proof is in the pudding.
Yeah. So that's why we
This,
suggest start with your goal. Go ahead, Alpa. What?
I was just going to say, this step that we've shared about the goal, that is super, super important.
Yes. Yes. So do your homework, and tomorrow we will see you. We'll talk about the self image. Now that you established the right goal, we have to work about who you have to become to match this goal. So any question, write it down in the on the chat. Reach out to us. We are here to help you this week. And if not, we will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.